Hey, everybody, welcome again. Each on the news. We've got Andy Sen. He's a CTO, AppDirect. That company, we're going to talk a bit about it. We know them well, and they're doing some great stuff. And Andy, we're going to be talking a little bit today about AI and what's going on in their world and to see what his perspectives are. Andy, first of all, man, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very, very good. All right. So, for everybody who don't know AppDirect, just give us the 1 minute pitch of what it is.
The 1 minute pitch is we want to be the center for subscription commerce for advisors. If you're an advisor, if you're selling through a channel, AppDirect is the one-stop shop where you can get any kind of product that you want to sell or provide to your customers. You can get software, you can get hardware, you can get telecom services, you can get energy. It's where you need to go to help set up any kind of business.
Would you kind of, Andy, describe it like more of like a marketplace that's beyond just the SaaS stuff? Is that how you would think of it?
Absolutely. It's beyond just SaaS. But the difference between us and let's say an Amazon is we are very focused on advisors. We are very focused on enabling advisors to get the products that they want for any kind of business that they support.
So if you're a channel partner, an MSP, a VAR reseller, or just a plain consultant, I can use the AppDirect marketplace to, transact, buy stuff, ship stuff, all that stuff for my clients, right?
Absolutely, you got it.
There you go. All right, now we've got that out of the way, Andy. Let's dig into the word of the year. I think AI. So, first of all, let's give me a bit of your background, Andy. How did you get here, and how did you fall into the world of AI?
All right. Well, I've started by falling into the world of e-commerce. I graduated from college in the late 90s. I took my first job, and it was at IBM, and they had this new group called e-business. This is the time when people were first putting their credit cards on the internet and buying things. And essentially, I've followed that my entire career. I had stints at Walmart Labs, smaller companies. I was part of the sales force when we launched the App Exchange, which was one of the first software marketplaces. And then I joined AppDirect in 2009. And I've been part of the AppDirect journey, setting up this subscription commerce platform for everyone to use.
Wendy, I've got to ask you, man. E-commerce have gone under so much, transitions over the years. What's your take from when the beginning of e-commerce is to where it is today?
It's completely changed. I mean, we started out as, it was just a bunch of websites. You went in there, you put your credit card then. We went through one entire revolution when it came to mobile phones, when more and more people started purchasing things over their mobile phones. Uh, and then, probably a great segue, we're seeing another huge shift when it comes to artificial intelligence. And now there's more, the trend seems to be that more and more commerce is, I won't say done by artificial intelligence, but it's assisted by artificial intelligence. People are using AI to find what they want, to find the best deals, process reviews. The entire life cycle of e-commerce seems to be getting more and more AI charged.
It just seems one day, Andy, we're just going to let our AI buy stuff for us, and we won't have to do anything anymore.
It's coming. It's coming pretty quick.
Well, it might not be that much fun, but it's for sure it's coming. So, look, I mean, even with e-commerce websites and any website now, right? The vast majority of people visiting them are like bots, right?
Mhm.
Humans are kind of out of the game. It's almost like you don't really need a good-looking website anymore. You just need one that's like talks well to AI. What do you think about the transition of the web part of the thing of the world these days?
So a couple of things. One, yeah, of course, I agree with you. And there's an entire field now of like using MCP protocols and things like that to make sites more attractive for artificial intelligences. So that's clearly happening. But I'd say one of the things we discovered on our way is that you still need beautiful user interfaces, even when they're served up by artificial intelligence. Like the first couple of chatbots we did for people to come and find products. I mean, they were okay, they were good as a novelty, but they were almost too open-ended. Like people would go in there, they would not know what to find. And what we have seen is just one of the trends is having an AI chatbot. which can actually return pieces of user interface. Like instead of just giving you a wall of text, if it can return pictures, buttons, drop downs, you almost get the best of both worlds. You've got an AI guiding you down a journey in a way that's really intuitive for the human using them.
Almost like a little bit of a sales agent, like a virtual sales agent walking you through, like, hey, welcome. What can I do for you today? Those welcome people,
Mhm.
and then literally walking you over to where you're going to buy those things that you want to buy. Um, Good stuff. So tell me a bit about AI and how you're seeing it at AppDirect. How are you guys have baked in AI into your game?
So again, the interesting thing about our journey at AppDirect with AI is a lot of it was not planned out in advance. I mean, it wasn't like 3 years ago we sat down and said like this is the path we're going to go down. Because I think anyone who tried that 3 years ago would just never have been able to keep up with what actually happened in the industry. So we've set up a different an AI marketplace, not AppDirect. It's called devs.ai, devs.ai, open to everybody, the entire public, whether you're an individual, you're a company. And the idea around that is it's decentralized AI. So anyone can go in there. We offer access to any of the large language models, from ChatGPT to Anthropic to Google, whoever it is. And in a very non-technical way, we let people build their own AI agents. It could be something as simple as a chatbot, which you can do with a couple of clicks. You can educate that chatbot by pointing it to any kind of knowledge repo that you have on the internet or text or however it is. And you can also build little agentic workflows. Again, point and click, build a little workflow, do something useful. And the first customer we tried that on was internally at AppDirect. And in a very decentralized way, we just gave everyone access to this playground and said, go for it. And the funny thing that happened is we had different departments. We're not talking about software engineers. We had people in the finance department and marketing, in the people ops, just go in there and build little tools which are useful for themselves. They built little chatbots, they built little pieces of user interface, they used other AI products to build little apps. And I think we've got something very deep about how AI works at companies. Uh, there are definitely large top-down initiatives, but a lot of the value is just letting people build their own things, find their own solutions, and centrally, you just look over it. You just look over and see what people are doing. Make sure they're not doing something crazy. They're not letting the company secrets go out or spending $1 million on tokens. But it's an atmosphere of trust. You look at what people are doing and you celebrate the wins. And this has had a huge, profound change in the way we do every aspect of our business. So it's been something both unexpected but really delightful.
Andy, I actually saw this live during a workshop with a company with 100 people, and they all broke them into different groups. And what happened was they made every group figure out what their problems are and guided them to use AI to sort of solve these things and make these little wins. And at the end, they all presented, what each of their groups did, and it was kind of remarkable to see how quickly, literally within 6 hours, right, what they were able to produce. And can you imagine with some training and a little bit of more effort, where it can go. So without a doubt, once people start to use it, right, then they
Absolutely.
start to really understand. And with a little bit of guidance, they can actually start to see that they're not just using it to ask questions or writing a better email or making some kind of a weird graphic, but they're actually using it in productivity. Um, are they still using it? Are they still using the tools they've created to increase productivity? And what does that look like? Have you measured it?
Um, it's hard to measure overall, simply because it's improving productivity in different ways. So when the people team uses it, their productivity increases in a different way than the fact that accounting team uses it. But we do measure very deeply how many new agents are being created and how many people are using it and how many people are sharing it. And that continues to go. So yes, they are definitely being used. And personally, like we don't police the behavior of how you're using it. So if you want to use these agents for work, that's amazing. But if you want to use those same agents, or you want to create an agent to help your kids do their homework or learn a different language or anything, that's fine too. And my belief is that when you have this kind of consumerization of IT, that the same agent that you're using to teach your kids Spanish, you'll probably figure out that in that environment that hey, I can also use this to help me in my work in analyzing Excel documents or creating a bot which can answer HR questions. And so we've made it as open as possible. We have not put any guidelines on use cases except for like obviously bad ones. And yeah, just the usage just continues to go up.
Really cool. Excellent. I mean, look, I mean, it's early days still, so it's pretty hard.
Mhm.
But I think we all got a sense that it's increasing productivity. If you ask most people, they go, "Yeah, you know what? I'm saving some hours of time, certainly some pain from doing it easier, right? So they're getting some benefits out of it. So how have you figured out to keep a little bit of the governance and guardrails up, so your people, your staff, don't go crazy and go, "Hey, let me upload all the HR salaries and let me upload all the financials and et cetera, et cetera." How have you been able to do this? Are they things that they can't and can't do? Are they data sets that they can't access? How does that work?
So the first and easiest thing that we did through this devs.ai platform is we make sure that all the LLMs that are being used have enterprise agreements with AppDirect. So even if someone inadvertently puts their financial data on there, which they clearly shouldn't, it's not going to spread to the internet. So that's
Okay,
level one. The second level is, well, you don't want to inadvertently put people's salaries on and share it with the entire company as well. I mean,
for sure.
that's pretty bad
That
as
may be
well.
worse than sharing it on the internet.
That might be sure. So, part of our core competency is in AppDirect is to have this kind of user management, and we took that to the AI platform as well. So when you create these agents, it's very easy to either build or verify that who can use these agents, who can use the data that you're uploading to it, and we clearly we make unless you maliciously want to go ahead and like share things. I mean, it's pretty obvious what you can or can't do. And of course, we're tracking all of these. So we're tracking which agents that people have created are used personally, which ones of them are shared with just their group versus which are shared with the entire company, or even which ones of them are public, shared with the entire world. I mean, so obviously there's some kind of vetting that has to go on before you just open it up to the entire world.
Yeah, and Andy, you and I both know there's something called insider threats, and
Mhm.
you do got to keep an eye on what's going on because yeah, we trust everyone until there's always one person that wants to create havoc, right? So yeah,
Right.
monitoring usage is mission critical. So really cool statement that I heard from yourself that AI tools will be the end of the ERP era. Come on, man, you're going to have a lot of people going after you for this. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah. And just to be clear, I mean, there's no reason why the ERP vendors themselves can't adapt. But these and I've obviously a lot of respect for what they've built. I mean, they're enormous, large, complicated pieces of software which does so much.
And costs
And
much
yeah,
as well.
it costs much as well. And again, if you look at what they're trying to do, they're trying to solve the use case for every company across every industry globally. And that's very complex software. And it ends up with any single company not using more than a tiny fraction of all the capabilities, but you're paying for all those capabilities. And what we have seen already, and again, as you said, we're just starting this journey. It's really easy to build small tools for your company. I'll give an example. We have a tool that we use for employee recognition. It's called Applause. And that was built internally by a non-technical team. It wasn't built by our core engineering team. And we built it, we hosted it, it cost the pennies on the dollar. But if you wanted simply that, and you wanted it as part of a giant ERP system, one, you'd have to buy a giant ERP system, you'd have to pay for the module. I mean, the costs are enormous. So I think what's happening is it's forcing every software company to sell based on value. Instead of selling based on here's all these features that I have, it's worth clearly worth millions, you have to really measure how much value you're providing to your customer and price accordingly. Because if you don't, AI has just opened up the world for people to make their own tools at a completely different price point.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. As a matter of fact, I think all software is under threat, just for the fact that it doesn't, it's still early days, but with Vibe and all the other things you can do, I mean, I've seen people develop applications that are being sold right now by giant companies
Mhm.
to do simple things that you can do now with AI, right? That said, you still got to make sure the AI has the cybersecurity posture, and it doesn't interfere with the other things you're doing. So, not because you can do it, right? It's that you should do it at least,
Mhm.
without making sure you got some proper guardrails, right? So, ERP for sure. I mean, the game there is to manage your entire business and to use business intelligence, right? And I think AI is sort of proving that that's their game, right? They're able to look at data and figure out, which way is up, I guess, right? So, do you think that ERP systems, and I'm sure they're all working on this as well, taking that data out and then serving it up in different ways to the customer, to the support team, to the salespeople, to the whomever, the marketing people, that's probably where AI is going to have the biggest crossover impact?
I think so. And you're right. Like your core accounting, I don't ever see someone vibe coding an app where they'll support that. I mean, besides the fact that it would be illegal, I mean, it's just a bad idea.
I would like to see it though, just to see
Yeah,
someone,
yeah.
how
I'd
far
like to
they
try.
go with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Uh, but the data that's maybe generated from your core accounting, that's generated from closing your books,
Right.
slices of that data is clearly valuable across the company, and would be something that AIs can pick up and use. I think there's a missing layer at this point in terms of uh, infrastructure which can easily take large clumps of data and kind of slice it up and provide it to different AIs to handle. And I think that middleware is where a lot of innovation is probably going to happen, uh, because everyone now realizes that they want to use AI for things like this, but it's just not clear how to do it. So I definitely see that that's another place that the software industry is going to go to pretty quickly.
Interesting insight there, Andy. So another thing as well. I mean, there was a study with MIT in the summer. You probably saw it, where they said,
Yes.
90% of the folks out there are not really seeing, value, blah blah blah. But I mean, it's really early days, and they only did it with like 50 people. So there are there are wins happening out there with AI. But the fact is, it's kind of hard to measure how it looks at the bottom line, and that profit and loss statement. What do you think about that? And when are we going to get to the point when we could say, hey, there's another line item called AI, and it added, 10%, 15, 20% to your bottom line?
Oh, I think we're not there yet, and I think it's a very hard problem to solve. So again, just by analogy, when we first started coming up with just computers, and people started using Excel instead of using pocket calculators, how much did that actually end up on the bottom line? I don't think anyone's ever done an analysis of that. But it was obvious that it's improving productivity. And I think we will do better and better at measuring productivity. I think, again, from my background, I'm a technologist. I know in software development, the tools for measuring individual productivity are amazing, and they keep getting better and better every year. And I think we're going to get that across the board for all kinds of functions, especially as all functions become more AI enabled. But how that drops into the bottom line and saying, well, my revenue went up by 10% or my cost went down by 5% over AI, I don't know when we'll get there. Maybe in a couple of years, maybe never. But My sense is it almost doesn't matter. It'll be so obvious that individual productivity is going up because of AI that quantifying exactly how much, was it AI which helped you, or was it computation in general, or was it technology? I mean, at some level, it doesn't really matter.
Well, here's an idea, Andy. What if we ask AI to figure out what the profit and loss is? I could see AI coming back going, 90% of your profitability is because of me, and blah blah
Yes.
blah. I'm sure someone's going to figure that out. So, Andy, what's your thoughts on the future? Where we're headed with this AI stuff that we're doing? Is it the machines are going to kind of like figure this out with the agents and the digital twins, or are the humans still have a role to play here?
So my take on this is, if you use a lot of AI, and I'm sure you have as well, you hit its limitations really fast.
Yeah.
Uh, the fact that today the AIs that you build, they can't learn, right? So you take whatever model that you have from, again, anyone, ChatGPT, Anthropic, whatever it is. They spent billions of dollars and trillions of model weights to build that model. But once that model's out, it doesn't learn anymore. I mean, all the interaction that you're doing with it, it's not actually learning. I mean, that's a clear limitation. Anytime you ask it to do something novel, it stumbles. So, and these, I think, are fundamental to the current architecture of AIs. And to supplement that, you will need a human involved. So, personally, I don't see any real threat in a sense that we're not going to lose human involvement. I look at AI as just better and better productivity tools. Now, just like LLMs was a revolution, in 3 years' time or in 2 years, is someone going to jump up and say, we have made this amazing AI which kind of learns like a human child and kind of grows smarter and smarter. And yeah, sure, I mean, I'll change my mind at that point, but I don't think we're anywhere close to that yet.
Yeah, I mean, I swim in the deep end of AI every day, and my personal gut feel is that I think AI can take you to about 25-30% increase in productivity as a human, and just your workload you're doing every day. There's lots of stuff you hate to do, right?
Mhm.
If you use AI to do it, I think it helps a lot, but it sort of taps out around that number, 25-30%, and what I'm finding is that as you dig into your creativity and you find crazier ways to kind of leverage it in a way you never thought of before, then you start to say, "Whoa, I could squeeze another value out of it here and there." But it's really now up to the human to kind of figure out how to use it in a way that's maybe hasn't been used before. Are you seeing that human creativity being the driver to get squeeze more value out of that AI investment?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if I'd go 25 to 30%, and maybe it's in some cases like could be higher, 50 to 60%, but it definitely hits a wall right there. And my what I've observed over the last year or so is there is that's a particular kind of skill. If, let's say that squeezing more out of AI, and at this point we don't know how to train people for that skill, and we don't know how to recognize people for that skill. I've seen that skill pop up in almost every function across the company. It's not a skill that I think correlates to software development or any traditional technology role or training or education. But it is a skill. Some people really like it. Some people really can squeeze more out of AI. And I think at some point we will soon start figuring out what that is, and how to train people to be better squeezers, for want of a better word.
You're coining the new phrases here, Andy. So you
That's right.
actually see productivity, you feel that productivity can go up to like 50-60% from a human using AI?
I think so. There are some roles and some things that AIs are obviously better at doing than others. But on average, I think with the current architecture of AI, I think we can get up to 50%. Yes, 50 to
Well,
60.
Well, if AI can replace me and make my digital twin do interviews, then I could replace me 100%. So
And
that
I think
becomes,
the chance of that is pretty much zero.
I don't, unless people prefer to talk to agents than me. But Andy, you get the last word, my friend. What's your overall thoughts and what's going on, and what do you want the world, the channel partners out there, those consultants, advisors, what do you want them to know about AppDirect and how they can help you, up your AI game, if you will?
Oh, two things. One is I would encourage everybody, whether you're an advisor or not, go to devs.ai and play around and let us know what happens. Um, from the AppDirect point of view, what I would say is we're going through a pretty big revolution right now. Just as the internet was a revolution, then mobile was a revolution, AI is clearly a revolution. Your customers need your trusted advice more than ever. And what I would say is, keep learning, keep evolving, and AppDirect will be a place where whatever creative solution that you build, the blocks of those will be available on AppDirect. So check us out as well.
There you have it. And it's been a pleasure. Keep us posted on things that are coming along. It's a really great experiment that you had with your company. I encourage other companies to kind of do this because you can restrict people all you like, but if you kind of give them the framework and the governance and, let them go out there and figure out what to do with this thing, this is how we all learn, right? We're playing with a new, I don't know, I don't want to say a new wheel, but we're playing with something new. We don't even know really what it is yet, for real. But what we could generate from it could be quite interesting, and we're all already seeing this. So keep up the great work, Andy, and all the best to AppDirect, and we shall talk to you soon. Cheers.
Great. Thank you.